And our next presenter will be Asia Jenkins.
Hi, I'm Asia Jenkins, and I'm going to teach you how to trim your dog's nails. And this is a picture of me and my dog Herbie. Now let me tell you a little story about my dog Herbie. So one day we were outside, and I was sitting down with my dog Herbie, and I was practicing with him. And I went inside to go get a drink of water for me and him. And when I went inside, he wanted to come, of course. And so, but our screen door had shut too fast for him to get in. So he had stood on a wrought iron fence, or a chair I meant, and he got his toenail stuck in there. And we think it was because it was too long and because that chair is very dangerous for him to be on. And the holes are only about that big, so it's a perfect size for him to get his toenails stuck. So now I'm going to teach you how to prevent that. This is the overview. So you'll need to set a schedule. You'll have to get your tools. You'll have to calm your dog. You'll have to know about the nail and where to cut. And you'll also have to cut the nail. Set a schedule. Try to clip your dog's nails once a month, or if you hear them clicking on hard surfaces. Get your tools. Well, you'll need clippers, you'll need styptic powder or cornstarch, you'll need treats, you'll need a leash, an assistant for big dogs like my assistant, Cypress. She doesn't do much because I have a little dog. She likes to watch for her dog. And paper towels. So calm your dog, make them comfortable. Here's my mom making my dog comfortable so he's not all squirmy when we try to cut his nails. Use a leash. If you have like a bigger dog and you can't get it on a table like how this lady has, then you'll need a leash to make the dog sit. And if you have an assistant, your assistant will go behind you, he'll grab the dog's paw, and then you'll start to cut. Remember to lean, if you don't have an assistant, to lean over and hold the dog's paw, and make sure that you talk softly to your dog to make them feel very comfortable. So you want to know the nail. Here's a picture of a dog's nail. This little pink part over here is called the quick. That is a blood vessel or a blood vein, a blood vessel where all of the blood veins goes through the nail. And if you cut that, it will bleed and it will hurt very bad, just like what happens on your fingernails. This is where to cut. This little yellow line shows you where to cut. You can see how it stops about this much before the quick. So you still cut off enough so it doesn't hurt, so the nail doesn't snag on anything, but it's also long enough so it doesn't hit the quick. Cut the nail. How to hold the clippers. So I don't have any pair of clippers with me right now, but how you hold them is you curve your thumb over like this at the top of the clipper, and then at the bottom you take these three and you go like that, and your pinky will just stay up. And then you can clip it like that. You want to squeeze the dog's paw. Squeeze the dog's paw so its fingers will extend so you can cut them more easily. If you're trying to cut this one and they're all squished together, if you cut this one, you might accidentally cut this one, and this one might go in the quick. Cut the nail. Cut the nail in small cuts. Make sure they don't get very close to the quick. Stop before the quick. But sometimes it happens even with professionals, they'll touch the quick. This is what will happen if you do cut the quick. It will just bleed, and you'll have to use your styptic powder or cornstarch, either one. And if it bleeds, it will hurt the dog, and it will bleed a lot, but even professionals do it, so you don't have to be worried or concerned. This is a video, and also a review of just the points that I just talked about.
How to trim a dog's nails. Dogs may be man's best friend, but they are your floor's worst enemy. Those claws are tough on the hardwoods, I tell ya. dog's nails. If your dog has white, clear, or light colored nails, your job will be easier as you should be able to see something called the quick, which is the dog's nail vein in the nail center. With black or dark nails, you have to be very careful because you won't be able to see the quick. If you cannot determine where the quick is, it is best to consult a professional before cutting. Step 3. Cutting. Gently squeeze the bottom center of the dog's paw to extend the nail. Place the nail clipper over the tip of the nail and clip firmly. To avoid serious bleeding and pain, clip the nail before the quick. If the nail does bleed, and yes, it happens even with professionals, pack the tip with styptic powder or cornstarch until the bleeding stops. Done. Make sure you give your dog lots of praise and a treat after you finish clipping so that he learns to relate to it as a positive experience. Well-groomed claws will make your best friend feel so much better, and you for that matter, as your floors will be all the more safe.
Okay, so now for the summary. So you want to set a schedule. You want to know when you have your dog. You want to know when to cut your dog's nails. Like, when is the right time to do it?
When you hear their nails clicking on the floor.
Mm-hmm. Or once a month, either one that works for you. Get your tools. You want tools such as nail clippers, cornstarch, styptic powder, leash,
Maybe an assistant.
maybe an assistant, paper towels, maybe a leash if you need to, if it's a big dog. You want to calm your dog. You want to make your dog feel very comfortable. You want to give them treats, tell them good girl or good boy. You want to tell them good dog. You want to make them really comfortable before you cut their nails. Know where to cut the nail. You want to cut the nail before the quick so it doesn't bleed. But if it does bleed, and it even does happen with professionals, you just use your cornstarch or styptic powder. Cut the nail, but make sure to stop before the quick. But if it will hurt the dog, just like it would hurt our fingernails if we cut him too short. And yes, it will bleed, and that's why we might need paper towels. Questions and discussions. Is there any questions?
No questions.
Okay. Thank you for watching my presentation. I hope you liked it.